What's up, pilots? I'm Dartigan and this is Titanfall Nexus. Today on the info drop, the max player count has been revealed and it's a lot smaller than expected. 6 on 6. That's the max player count for Titanfall. What to make of this? Well, for starters, I'd imagine a significant amount of people are disappointed by this news. In fact, the majority of the Twitter responses were overwhelmingly negative. After all, 6 on 6 is a rather weird player count for this type of game in this day and age. Most people were expecting at least 8 on 8. So the question we need to ask ourselves is this: is this really a bad thing? Well, yes and no. Allow me to play devil's advocate for a bit and argue for both sides here. I'll start with why it could be bad first, because I feel there are less speculative reasons for that one. Here we go. 6 on 6 just really takes the wind out of your sails, doesn't it? This is going to affect quite a lot of other things in the game, from map size to team battles and the amount of teamwork you can employ. Fewer teammates means less opportunities for flanking maneuvers or attacking multiple objective points. Sending half your team to defend point A while the other half attacks point B could very well become a difficult situation to pull off. And then there is the much bigger matter of the quality of your teammates. What happens when one or two of your teammates are constantly screwing up, getting killed, or just trolling, basically? Answer: your chances of turning the game in your favor drop dramatically with each person who underperforms. With larger teams, you can afford to have one or two noobs that the rest of the team can pick up the slack for. Here, not so much. More responsibility is placed on each individual to perform their role and do it well. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of MOBAs, games like League of Legends, where it's 5 on 5 and if just one person starts screwing up, the whole team falls behind. Realize that in Titanfall, the more kills you get, the quicker you get your Titan. So if one person is getting killed over and over again, he is essentially giving the other team a huge advantage over you. There's a term for this in League of Legends. It's called feeding, and it's something that is very, very annoying. When one person starts feeding, you can expect your team to lose their minds, yell insults left and right, or even worse, rage quit. And it's certainly not a pleasant experience when you're on the receiving end of all their frustration. Rage quitting, of course, is another huge problem with small player counts. Teams can disintegrate very quickly, which makes it very difficult to come back from and means you're wasting your time. That sort of thing can drive people away from a game. It's the reason I stopped playing League of Legends, in fact. Why should I invest my time in your game if half the time I'm yelled at for making one single mistake, or the other half of the time my team isn't doing their job? Now I'm going to switch sides for a moment and give you the positives of this. And ironically, the first and biggest positive point I have to give you was also my biggest negative, and that's player responsibility. When more responsibility is riding on you, your accomplishments shine through. You can really tell when one person is carrying your team to victory, and that is just an awesome feeling when it's you. This is one of the big draws of League of Legends, actually. You can pinpoint the exact moment when your or someone else's actions turn the game in your favor. That doesn't happen too much with larger player counts. In games like Battlefield, where the team sizes are huge, your contributions to the game don't feel as important. It can be hard to tell if your actions are moving the team towards victory. Another positive, I think, is average lifespan. With more players, the greater the chance someone will come up from behind the corner, catch you in a blind spot, and bang, you're dead before you can even see them. With smaller player counts, everything feels more like a personal one-on-one battle, and if you lose, it's likely because you misjudged something, not because someone came up behind you with a shotgun while you were focused on another enemy. This also means spawn times will be shorter, I think. The less time you spend looking at the loadout screen, the better. Finally, I think 6 on 6 means that the 3 Titan classes we know of, the Atlas, the Ogre, and the Strider, are probably the only 3 in the game. 6 on 6 just isn't enough to warrant more class types. It seems to me Titanfall is shaping up to be a very League of Legends-like experience inside a first-person shooter, oddly enough. That's an interesting experiment, I think. For those of you worried that the scope of the game may be too small, the battles will just be kind of puny looking, you have to remember there will be NPCs fighting alongside you, plus Titans can be NPCs as well, so the number of potential enemies on the field could be rather large. So don't let 6 on 6 fool you into thinking games will be too small to keep your interest. So did I alleviate some of your worries about this announcement, or did I give you something to worry about? Feel free to weigh in the comments on what you think. Before I go, I just want to encourage everyone to check out the official Titanfall Wiki on Gamepedia.com for more information. As always, this has been Dartigan, and I'll see you next time, pilots.